Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and the news for Joe Biden is tragic. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. President Joe Biden's presidency, I think, is the biggest scam ever perpetrated on the people of the United States of America. Scott Jennings warned last week that Democrats were not prepared for what was about to be exposed in a new book written by Jake Tapper of CNN, of all people. There was plans, according to this book, not even plans, the White House doctor told President Joe Biden's staff, if he falls down one more time, we're going to have to put him in a wheelchair if he's elected to a second term. We would have a president in a wheelchair right now. Now, there was also horrible news today that there was a nodule found on the former president's skin that's being examined. He's had a skin cancer lesion removed before, so everybody's concerned about this. But the book shows a lot more than just a wheelchair. It shows that there was cognitive decline being hidden. And a lot of people are questioning, where the heck were the White House pool reporters? Now the media is so crazy about this. They're so angry about this. Where were you for 4 years? You didn't see any of this cognitive decline? You didn't see any of this physical decline? Or were you part of a damned cover-up? Are you people so corrupt that you would do anything to keep Donald Trump out of the White House, including lie to the American people, including negating your job to be the referee, call balls and strikes, to be the fourth estate, to be the ones to tell us the truth about what's going on? But you failed your duty, and you did it, in my opinion, on purpose, because you wanted Trump out of the White House. And if it meant keeping Biden in, you were willing to cover it until you couldn't cover up for it anymore when he had that meltdown during the debate with Trump in front of the whole world, and there was no more hiding it. And now you people want to come out with your books like you're something special, like you're uncovering the truth. You're part of the damn corruption, and you know it. And you're only reporting the truth now because you have to and because you can make some money on it. It's absolutely disgusting. I want you guys to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
Sarah.
All right, new this morning, President Biden's closest advisors privately discussed the possibility that he may need to use a wheelchair if he won re-election because his physical health had deteriorated so much. That scoop out this morning from Axios. It's one of the many details in the soon-to-be-released new book titled Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again. It was written by Axios' Alex Thompson and CNN's own Jake Tapper. Jake is here to join us now. I'm curious about what his advisors were saying at the time as you look at this, as you reported out this book.
So the White House physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, was telling White House aides that President Biden's deterioration of his spine, the degeneration, was so significant that if he fell one more time, that he might have to be in a wheelchair and serve in a wheelchair for his second term. But everybody pushed off the notion that he use a wheelchair until after the election. This is all part of a larger whole where the Biden White House tried to hide the extent of his deterioration, both physical and cognitive, as much as possible. In fact, as we all know, we all saw, as his shuffling gait got worse and worse from 2003 to 2004, they started putting aides around him as he walked to Marine One, the helicopter. That was to kind of hide from public view how bad his gait was, how bad his walking was, his shuffling, and also in case he stumbled again to make sure somebody was there. And this is just of a piece of an overall campaign to try to conceal from the American people the extent to which the president was really struggling to do his job.
You have an entire White House press corps, though, following him around. And I'm just curious as to whether or not this kind of trying to hide what was happening with the president at the time had an impact on the press corps. Like, why didn't we hear some of these details from what they actually saw and were dealing with trying to get information?
Well, Alex Thompson and I were on the case, as were lots of other reporters, trying to figure out what was going on behind the scenes. But the bottom line is the White House was lying, not only to the press, not only to the public, but they were lying to members of their own cabinet. They were lying to White House staffers. They were lying to Democratic members of Congress, to donors about how bad things had gotten. And in fact, Alex and I started writing this book after the election of 2024, and we spoke with more than 200 people, most of whom, almost all of whom, were Democrats, and almost all of whom wouldn't be honest with us or wouldn't be candid with us until after the election. And then after the election, we found out all of these things that when you looked at what was going on with President Biden at the time, it probably doesn't surprise you the extent to which he was deteriorating. But now we have anecdotes and facts about what was really going on behind the scenes with details that Democrats wouldn't share with us until after Election Day.
Are you hearing anything from President Biden himself about any of this? Is he responding to it?